Hello, wonderful viewers. It is another time here on Choral Music TV. My name is Maxwell Ofori, and today we're going to have a discussion with one of the key people in the renowned choir in Ghana, the Harmonious Chorale. I'm talking about the public relations officer of the choir in the person of Mr. Emmanuel Osai Nyakon. Stay with us.
Are you ready for a new trend when it comes to multimedia production? Are you in search of the best in quality music and sound production hub for your concerts, social events, recordings, audio diagnosis, and many others? Look no further. Prof Music Production is your reliable partner for all your quality sound and music services. We deal in studio recordings, live recordings, jingles, voiceovers, live sound setup, music lessons, audio diagnosis, sound consultation, DJ services, video production, lighting, live band, and many more. Contact us on 05502 40995 or 020587174. Reach us on our social media platforms via Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter at Prof Music Production. PMP, Quality Production. PMP, such a sound.
You welcome back from that break. My guest is here with me, Mr. Emmanuel Osai Nyakon. I welcome you to Choral Music TV.
Thank you very much, Maxwell.
It's always a pleasure having you on this platform, and I know we're going to have a great discussion this time because of your journey. I've always known you to be associated with choir, singing, promoting the Harmonious Chorale. Yeah, so that is what we're going to center on for our discussion. But where did Emmanuel start from? If you want to go back and get to know you very well, where did you start from?
Well, I think it will start from when my mother came from Scotland back to Ghana, and my father was also returned from Nigeria during the Ghana Must Go days. So probably
that's where it started from.
Yes, when they came, they were two different people, and when they came, they met in Ghana.
I see.
And then they married.
They did their own thing and brought you.
So that's how I started from.
Okay.
Yes. So I was born and raised in Bubuashi, Zongo. Just behind Accra Academy. So
you were a Zongo boy.
Yeah, I'm a Zongo boy. Born, bred, battered as a Zongo. So
I see.
Life wasn't all that rosy. My life has been characterized by the fact that it's like it's a staircase. You just take that step and that step. The more step you take, the more clearer you see the horizon. You see? Yes. If you want to see everything before you take the step, you may not get there. So yes, just start small. Like I said from the beginning, I've always paid the person to work backstage. In Harmonious Chorale, actually my main aim for Harmonious Chorale was not to even sing. I wanted to be the guys to carry the combo, do the event organizing and those kind of things. Because coming from university choir, being in several planning committees, and Harmonious Chorale were about to do creation in 2011. So, but I joined in November 2010. I was excited to just do this. There are times during 2011, you see, I'll pick a car from Sotu, I used to live in Sotu, and then come to Accra Mall. Okay, that time it was not even Accra Mall. They didn't call that as Accra Mall. Get to that place and then walk to Spinkters. I don't mention the name of the company to present sponsorship letter. Walk back to the place and then pick a car because the money I had on me will not be enough to go all the way. There are some places you walk and distribute letters for sponsorship. So this was the joy that we had doing those kind of work, and we wanted to do it behind the scene. There was nothing like publicity department for Harmonious Chorale. My first chance was with Kennedy. Kennedy was then the coordinator. So I followed him to the then Choice FM to publicize our event. Whilst we were in the studio, he got a call from Unique to come for an interview. So he left me, and then I had to be the one to speak. And
going there, you didn't know you were the one going to speak?
No, I was just accompanying Kennedy. Even with the social media, our brother Ebenezer created a platform. He was handling it. Then I went to I want to help you. And I said, oh, fine. Every time anybody who likes, you have to go and look for all those people, then write their names. Those were the small things. But with time, it started evolving. So it was always small. But now people see it on the outside as if, oh, this is what we have been doing all this while. But start small, backstage. If God wants you to come to the forefront, he will bring it to the forefront. But my main area is to do it behind the scene. That's where I feel comfortable.
You joined the Harmonious Chorale in 2010.
26th November 2010.
What has been the journey for the choir? How you saw them some 12 years ago and today? Take us through the journey. How has it been?
It has been very great, not so rosy. My first encounter with the choir, I wasn't a member. They had come to Kumasi in 2010. I was wrapping up with my national service to launch an album. And guess what? I went there to help them sell the CDs.
Did you know the choir was coming to the place?
Yes.
You knew?
Yes.
So
a friend of mine told me.
A friend told you. Yeah. So what pushed you to go to them?
They wanted me to help sell CDs.
The choir wanted you to help
sell my friend wanted me to help sell CDs, yes.
Your friend was in the choir?
Yes.
Who?
Prince Frimpong.
Prince. Is he still in the choir?
No, he's currently in Canada.
Canada. Yes. Okay, so he called you to come and help them sell.
Then also we had currently Mrs. Edith Abakaprat. She was also a member of University Choir.
Okay.
So it's like there are some University Choir people over there. So the love was there. I just wanted to go and help them. That was all.
Had you heard the choir sing, or did you know the choir already before your friend called you to come?
I'd watched one of the videos. That's one video, an evening with Such Baby, the first one.
And what did you make of them?
Well, it was like, oh, this is great. Because I was in university choir, I was a product of university choir. I'm like, oh, this is great. So that was it. I didn't even take much notice. Then my friend was not even part of the choir when I saw the video. So when he told me they were coming, I'm like, oh, Charlie, I'll come around because I will even see you. Then I was selling the CDs. Then they started singing. I'm like, oh, what is this?
Was it so different from the video you saw? People may say videos are edited, sound worked on. So you had the opportunity of
live.
Yes, both on the video they recorded and then live.
Okay, so this is what happened. They were singing Orechiche, and then when they get to a certain part, they were singing Orechiche and Adam. I was sitting by the table like this. When I heard it, I jumped over the table without touching the table.
Wow.
To go and see who was singing. I think that was Mrs. Elizabeth Boachi.
Okay.
So if it's to judge by what I saw in the video, I think the live was even much better than the video, yes. So when I came to Accra, I joined the choir, and that was it. It has always been to serve, serve. We did creation. That was the first time we had a whole experience of doing this oratorio, a full oratorio by a full choir without any input from anywhere. The stage, the lights was spot on, and that's where we took off. And gradually, I think Harmonious Chorale has grown to become what it is now. But then the vision is to be more than what it is now.
Okay. Yeah. So if you compare the first concerts you were involved, the production quality, voice quality, everything, to the last concerts you did, has there been so much difference, or you'd say they are almost the same?
Oh, there's been difference in all
in terms of what?
Instead of stage, lights, costume, it has improved. The issue is now we are...
Oh, you mentioned costume. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. I don't know if you know why I'm saying we'll talk about it.
I think
yes.
I know. And because now if you're watching Creation, our very first big production, I don't think it was shot even in HD.
Okay.
So definitely you see differences in quality. So yes, things has improved. The voices have matured, and definitely we've been able to keep a core texture that we have, even though it is improved. When you hear Harmonious Chorale, if you hear two songs, same songs, you will know one is from Harmonious Chorale, the other you may not know. But we have this unique way of identifying this is Harmonious Chorale. It doesn't matter if the song is the same. Even if you pick our instrumentation and orchestration, intervals and everything, you will know that this is from Harmonious Chorale.
I see. So what goes into it? But before you decide to even start a rehearsal for a concert, what steps do you put in place? From the executive director, or if the administrator to the last person who probably may have to pick the last extension board for everything to be complete.
Okay, so after the conceptualization and everything between the events director and then executive director, okay, so let me state this. Harmonious Chorale, the executive director doubles as the music director.
Okay.
Yes, in some choirs these roles are different. So I'm referring to James. Then Justice, they do all their things. And once it's set, now it's time for James to set music to match the concept. And that is a great job. I wonder where he's able to get all those things from.
But who draws the concepts?
Concept comes, the concepts can come from either Auntie Joyce, James, or director, or Justice.
Okay.
Yes. Normally, it's hovering between them. In the early days, yes, there were some inputs from other sources, but basically, if James brings the concepts, he has to make sure Justice understands it, and if Auntie Joyce is conceptualized like an evening with a composer series that Certain Lights Ministries brought up, everything has to be in alignment. But when all these people are building, then they have to let me in, because we have to sell it out. So that's how it is. Sometimes they will say it, even if I don't get it 100%, I'll try to implement it, then I'll tell them, no, this is not original thing. I have to recall and then come and align with them. So that's how the concept comes about.
Okay, so
much work.
So when these concepts are brought to you as the PR officer, how are you able to sell it? Because using one thing I liked about the choir is the publicity aspect of everything you do. You are able to grab the attention of your followers to whatever you want to do. When they bring these concepts to you, what do you do with it?
So I have a team. I know people like calling me PRO, but ideally there are a lot of PROs within Harmonious Chorale. That's public relation officers. I just head the PR departments. It's just that some of them don't like to come out and talk. That's why it's like it's only me. So we always have a team discussion. So Justice pushes everything to me. I get it, director adds inputs. So the team will brainstorm. And then we try to come up with how we can use various touch points to do the marketing and the communication. So once this is done, our creative guys goes do their creative work, and then if they bring it back for us to critique before finally Justice and Executive Director James also have to see it. If it's okay, then we go. But mainly speaking, we also get inspiration on the spot. So I'm at rehearsals, we are doing a song, then I will just be inspired that this song, this part of this song, if it goes online, I mean, it will cause a lot of ripple effects. So let's do it. Sometimes I'll be there, then Director James will come and tell me, Ima, I think this song we should go live. So once you are in the thing, you follow the movement. Yeah. That is why it's like we are always on the spot. So I always leave my antenna on. The team, we always leave our antenna on. We don't close and go to just singing chorister mode. Everything we are thinking about publicity. Everything, because we believe that we have to. This was the whole thing about publicity. Look for something good about the choir. Put a magnifying lens on it and make it big.
That's all.
That's all we are doing. So every touch point, even when people are dozing off at rehearsals, and we see that, we see this thing, it's okay. And if it's okay with the person doesn't mind. It will go. If we are eating, I'm like, okay, no. Yes, we all eat in our houses, but people want to have personal experiences with the choristers. Sometimes those are the videos or the images that do well on social media. Remember, it is social media. So social is very, very, very important. That's why we always want to tell the story of our choir, the progress, the journey. So people are updated with information about the choir. It will surprise you to know that there are people who are all the way in Rwanda, know so much about the members of the choir, so that when we got there, they were telling, oh, I know you, I saw your wedding, like that kind of stuff. So that's how we go about it. We are always in the publicity mode, and that's how we work. Yeah.
So then, when you you have the concepts. I'm sure it will include the repertoire.
Yeah.
So how do you decide that we should do this artwork? Well, let me take it from there. As the PR, do you suggest the kind of artwork they should do for you, or you leave it to them to bring out something?
Okay, so interestingly, our head of creatives, that is Micah Mate, was my roommate in the university.
Okay.
And university, he was also part of the university choir. Actually, we were sleeping on the same bed. He was on top. So we have that connection. So through him, I appreciate art a lot.
Okay.
So many a times he comes with the concepts to support with the creatives. Other times too, I have an idea, then I will sell it to him, and then he will do it. But then back and forth, we fine tune it. There are days that he will do an artwork, then I'll tell him, Michael, you did this work really under pressure. So yes, we are behind time, but you please take your time and do it. And then he comes back and he's okay, and whatever creative he says is so beautiful. So a lot of things happen in between. No, let's do it this way, let's do it this way. Sometimes too, when he does the creative, he's coming from an angle, and if he doesn't explain to the members of the committee, we may not appreciate it. So he has to come up with a write-up why I put these things there. Then once we are okay and we appreciate it, then it's allowed to go. Because if we don't critique it and if we don't understand it at the committee level, imagine what the choir would say or what the outside world will say. So it's a long process, we always need to make it shorter because of time.
I see.
Yeah, so we're always working under pressure.
And what's your role when the choir is to rehearse? As the head of PR, what do you do?
So at rehearsals, I'm fully participating in the rehearsal stuff.
Before you even rehearse, do you have a role you play? Let's say they know they are supposed to meet these days of the week. Do you do something else to make sure that they are there?
No. So we have two communication outlets. We have internal communication and external communication. I am responsible for external communication.
Okay.
So the internal communication is done by the secretary.
Okay.
So he does all those announcements within.
We see.
Currently it is Bentel.
Okay.
Bentel is the secretary and Justice is now the administrator.
Okay.
Yeah, so the role of the administrator has been redefined to combine that of events. Yes, so Justice is heading that department. So if it's about internal communication, I'm not the one. Except if there is a concert and then I see the choristers doing something and I have taken note of it previously that, okay, in this video, we did this and it didn't go well. Or even if people don't see it, I think if we do it better, people will appreciate it. Then I'll tell the executive director to address that issue. So when I'm at rehearsals and I see it, I'll tell the AD to address that issue, and then they will.
They will.
Yeah.
And how difficult has it been trying to get the corporate side to work with the choir? I'm talking about sponsorship, supporting you in terms of funds. How difficult has it been?
It's been a big challenge. We are still breaking grounds. Look, they are big multinationals we've spoken to. We've showed them the numbers, but they are still jittery. And they will prefer to do other stuff with their money. But when we are able to get a CEO or a leader who buys in what we do, then we have that access. And we can make mention of the group chairman of First Sky Group. And he's one person who has really supported us. It's been a challenge, but gradually I think we will get there. Harmonious Chorale, we believe that we have been pace setters. We have proof of concept for the last 15 years. We've proven that if a brand will support choral music in Ghana, actually the area is very green. If a brand will support choral music in Ghana, the mileage the brand will get is understated. If any, and through the channel, if any corporate organization is watching, they should go to South Africa and see what Old Mutual has done with the choral music festival over there. That's a huge brand that they've been able to build with the choral music. And Ghana is still green. Even after 15 years, it's still green. The opportunity is there. Don't bet on Harmonious Chorale. Use Harmonious Chorale. It's not a bet. It's a sure way. Use Harmonious Chorale. The resource is there.
But generally, the corporate side have the thinking that they may not get the returns when they support chorale because they don't have that mileage. 5 years back, how Harmonious Chorale was popular, and today, do you think you've risen through the ranks such that you are confident that every entity, business, can push in their money, invest in the choir, and they'll get that returns? Are you sure of the choir's growth?
Imagine, just imagine that the very first time Oye was sung at a concert, it was headlined by an organization. This organization would have been reaping the benefit of how big Oye now is. So it is there, but you see, once they've not taken the attention to that side. And I also say that traditional media is helping, but they've not done really that much. Largely, they think about choral music when it's holiday. Yes, but if they will give us even just 10% of the playing time for choral music, it is going to blow. In any organization, any entity that will partner choral music now stand the benefit of reaping, because we are still at the critical mass. We are still gathering. The moments we hit, you see it rising, the curve rising all the way, and that organization will just get there. Harmonious, we are just positioning ourselves. We keep on improving on what we do, concert after concert, year after year, to make sure that we have that opportunity. Because mind you, we've been to the world stage and back, and it's a beautiful thing. So we will get there.
But when you go to these private companies to support you, what reasons do they give you for not supporting?
In all honesty, if I show you a copy of our proposal, you'll be wowed, because the ethos is there. We have the evidence to back it, but sometimes it's just bureaucracies. It's just bureaucracies. We had an organization, a bank, that wanted to partner us for Festival of Praise and Worship, but because of bureaucracies, we couldn't get through. Afterwards, I gathered pictures and images and footages. I sent it to them, and I know the one I was talking to, like, oh, I'm sorry we couldn't come in through now, but I hope by October we will come through with the grand anniversary concert. So the willingness is there, but sometimes it's just the bureaucracies that takes time.
Okay, so you just mentioned the grand anniversary, the recently held FOPA, Festival of Praises and Worship 5. You mentioned it's part of the lineup of activities marking the anniversary. Let's start from the FOPA. You said no live streaming. Everybody should come to the venue. At the end of the program, what did you observe?
Actually, we were shocked with the turnout. Yes, we thought the turnout to be lower than what we expected, because one, we were trying to break a certain culture. People are now used to staying at home watching everything online, but we wanted a corporate worship, so we wanted it to come. Then hours to the event, it started raining. But when
you went live.
Yes,
you were telling us that it was not raining at the conference center, so we should come.
So that's one thing I say, like, your antenna always have to be on. So I'm driving to the conference center and it's raining, and I'm like, if I'm a person that I have not bought ticket yet, will I say I'm coming or not? So let me just go live and encourage them. And social media, let's tease a bit. I told them, at the at the conference center, it's not raining. In the auditorium, there's no rain. So you pass through the rain and come. And I think they received the message very well. They came in their numbers, and it's amazing. We thank God for our audience.
How did you see their reaction to the ministrations?
I mean, it was powerful. You see, at every point in time, a different mood, a different experience. Ankla gave us the worship. Koki Solombe with the operatic voice. Lordina came in. Harmonious came to do her thing. And then Winners took us to another level. So I think the experience was great. Me personally, I had friends who had attended our concert for the first time, and they gave me very good reviews. Yes, both from church and from the family side. Yes.
I see. But you made a post on Facebook, I think the Monday, that's at 5:45. Ladies' costume had not arrived or something, if I remember that post. Yes. What was it about?
So those are some of the challenges we have as an event organizer. Harmonious, we always pride ourselves to starting our events on time, and this was our trump card, because we were quite sure we were going to do it on time. Only for us I actually didn't know that the ladies' costume hadn't arrived. So I was at about 4:55. I'm expecting the ladies to be dressed up, taking their pictures and all that. But I see them like, no one is dressed. So I go like, why are your costumes? And the costumes not on. So I go to Justice.
Wow.
Justice, what's happening? He said, oh, the lady is not even answering her phone.
Oh.
Then my mind went back to Joseph and his brethren, where we faced a similar challenge. But with that, we knew, I think about 24 hours that we were going to have that delay.
Okay.
But with this, we didn't know because the lady hasn't disappointed us before.
Okay.
And this is why I also don't want to blame him too much because the first uniform that we had, it wasn't okay.
Okay.
Yes. So quickly, we had to go back to the market, get new fabrics.
Oh, okay. So
and
this
then
was
sew
a
another
second
one.
costume.
Yes, a second costume.
Not the original one.
Not the original one. The style.
What was wrong with it?
The style wasn't okay. You know, sometimes you can choose a style. You've seen it. You've adjusted everything and say, okay, give us a sample. It's okay. But now when you have a lot of them and you are together, you realize that no, this will not be good for the concept. Okay. That's how much detail we pay attention.
So if I get you
to
whenever the costume arrives,
yeah,
the group would have to wear it.
Normally, one person will wear it, and then if it's the ladies, they will see it. The guys, we really don't mind.
Yeah.
Yes,
know,
but
right?
I think when the
They
combination
saw it
came, we realized that
and they didn't
no,
like it.
it as a one, it's okay, but then for the group, and then with the kind of production we are having, it's not okay. So quickly, Justice had to do the magic,
So
get new fabrics.
How do you choose your costumes and the design? Who does that? How?
So
You see, I'm asking...
Justice has a team. They think about it, but sometimes Justice will be there, and Auntie Joyce will send him some links from Pinterest. Okay, so when we do this, we do that. So it's like every time it's brainstorming. As I'm speaking, there are costume designs that are being planned for October. Okay. So everything is being done. Sometimes they'll bring a sample. No, this is not working.
And the choir pays for them?
Yes, largely Satellite partners with us, and then sometimes the choir pays for them. So it depends on the production and how it goes. Yes, so I think this time around, our female designer was overwhelmed, but she also didn't tell us that there's a challenge she's going to face. That's the thing. You let us know that okay, maybe you can't. So let's give part to the other person. But then we didn't get the information very early, and at 5:45 the female costume arrived, and by 6 o'clock they were on stage. So we had a delayed start of the main event, but we had to improvise. Uncle Ato had to go on stage to start leading us with the worship, creating the atmosphere. But all in all, it was good.
What time did it come?
It arrived. I think I went for it, so it arrived around 5:45.
5:45.
Yes. And between 5:45 and 6 that they were supposed to wear and come to stage, we were just ironing out the lines. So I was backstage. Okay. We had some of the guys using iron to iron the line, because the guys were already dressed, so they were helping the ladies iron the lines. All we were praying was that everybody will have the uniform, and when they fit, it will be okay for stage. We didn't care whether it should be okay for stage. And
at least if you have the front
grace,
showing very nicely, that's fine.
Yes, by God's grace, it worked. But
did it in any way change the morale of the ladies, the delay?
Not at all. But it's still, everything we do is still a learning curve. We learned our lessons at Joseph and his brethren, where 24 hours to the event, the uniform was just one for the female. So within 24 hours, we had to produce new ones. Some of us were with a designer, a new designer. I was doing hemmings, Justice was doing stitches. Like, we were all working with a designer, and it's worked. So this time around, we think that we have to change our strategy and then produce them maybe months to time. The challenge is, especially with the ladies, they fluctuate in their sizes, so we always have the challenge of adjusting it here and there. But we've learned the lessons. I don't think we should repeat this.
But anytime. Would you say for Power 5 was a sold-out concert?
Well, it could have been sold out if we had enough time to publicize the event. I think that the time for the publicity was quite short. We had wanted to shift the date to this month, but realized logistically it was not going to be feasible because of the venue. Yeah, so we had to work, I think, in less than a month to plan all this. Remember, even though we knew we were going to do for POW, ACGC also had changing calendar, so it's also affected because we're supposed to prepare for ACGC travel to Rwanda. The moment we come back, I think in 3 weeks, we are doing football. So those were the little difficulties we faced. But based on the publicity we did, the time available, and the attendance that we received, we think it was fantastic.
It was fantastic.
Yes, it was fantastic.
I saw GRA there. I saw
Yes,
GRA.
they were there. They were at the gates. Yes, they came to.
You invited them?
No, they called us and they said they saw at the Beton radio. So once we are selling tickets, they have to come for their 18.5%.
Wow.
Well, it's law. There is
Yeah.
nothing we can say about it.
Yeah, I saw you giving
But
it out.
the advocacy that we can give is that if government wants to promote the arts, Ministry of Art, Tourism, Art and Culture, they should take a second look at this, because no ticket sales at events is able to cover for a third of the events. If you sell all tickets,
Okay.
it won't cover for a third. So if you have this and 18.5% will have to go to taxes, and I think there should be a special dispensation for such events.
Okay.
We are not saying that zero tax, but if the rate can be reduced or reworked on, that would be great, because as an event organizer, it takes a lot. The ticket sales cannot even pay for venue and lights for the events. Yes, if everything is sold out. But we have to pay, so they are there. Well, maybe I think it's also a good thing, because we don't see them at other choir events. So if they are monitoring us and they can see us advert on radio and social media, it's good. If Harmonious Chorale is setting the pace, that's fine. We can't complain, but they should look at it. They are implementers,
sure, yes,
so
yes.
the lawmakers should look at it.
You should look at it. And so let's go into the anniversary proper. We're having the grand concerts in October.
Yeah.
But from now to October, what do you have for us?
I think this month we have open rehearsals. There are other series of other activities. I don't have them on the top of my head, but every month there is an activity. I think we have another campus ministry to do. We have visitations to do. We have big weekend worship, open rehearsals. But the main anniversary concert, which will be in October, I think the concept is quite firmed now. I think yesterday I was having a discussion with Justice. It's going to be interesting. Certain parts of the concerts will stream free online. Certain parts will also be paid.
Okay.
Yes, so
We'll pay for the concerts.
yes, certain parts of it.
parts.
So I think I don't want to get ahead of myself. If I say it right now, you know what happens.
Yeah.
When Harmonious, we do
Yeah.
A, another person will do A,
Yeah.
A, B. Yes, A,
Yes,
but then with a small B
yes.
at the end. So I don't want to mention it, otherwise you will see it out there. It's going to be big. If our 12th anniversary if our 10th anniversary concert, then Nyamiye concert was started as the biggest choral event. At the 12th anniversary OTUT Arthurs at Thanksgiving, we eclipsed it. 15th anniversary, Charlie.
Massive.
It's going to be
We
massive.
can't wait for that. We can't wait for that. But then, you've won so many awards, Harmonious Chorale, within this 15 years. On top of your head, how many can you mention?
How many can I mention? I can mention a lot, but I think in total it should surpass 24 awards.
24 awards.
Yes, I think if it's about best choir in Ghana, Harmonious Chorale, we've done it with the GH Youth Choir 4 out of 5 times. If they should have done it in 2020, we will still be the only choir probably to do it, because we were still active during the COVID period. Outside of choral music, we've won the Shine Awards as the best choir. We also won Ghana Gospel and Ghana Gospel Championship, Gospel Music. Yes, I think they also did an award scheme. We've won that twice for Choral Song of the Year and then Choir of the Year. That also twice. Internationally, we've had the World Choir Games, champion of the World Choir Games category C28. We went to Rwanda. Tactically, we didn't present a mixed choir. We presented a male and a female chorus, and we won gold in both categories, with the male becoming the overall category winners. So I think the awards, they are good. We like them when we get them, but they don't really define us. That's the truth. We always want to be defined by what we do. Whether we win an award or not, it doesn't really define us. So like I say, When we win, we'll make noise about it. When we don't win, it doesn't change us. Yes, so.
And how is the choir taking advantage of technology to get some fans to support your activities? I know you're active on social media, Facebook, YouTube, AudioMark. Is it fetching you something?
In all honesty, these digital platforms don't bring in much revenue yet. The truth is that we haven't created the ecosystem. Choral music in general, we haven't created the ecosystem. So we are in the ecosystem of the larger music industry. So whatever will come will be a percentage of the larger music industry. It is when all of us, all choirs, all industry players, producers and everything, we create a big ecosystem on these online platforms. That's when the attention will come. Yeah, so for now, it's just, somebody was arguing that why do we have to even promote AudioMark, which is not monetized down the Apple Music? And I tell them, whatever thing I pay to distribute on Apple Music, at the end of the year, I'm not getting enough sales to pay back. Whereas if I'm on AudioMark, I'm getting, it's free on AudioMark. I'm not getting paid on AudioMark, but I'm getting a lot of downloads, a lot of streams. To me, I'll choose stream. For now, I'll choose streams over money. Okay. So let's push it there. It's like casting your bread on waters. Let's push it there. Let's encourage our people to go there. People are still asking for CDs, but we are telling them we're not producing CDs. They are asking for pen drive. We are telling them that the world is moving away from pen drive. So we are driving an agenda. Let's all go online. You can have them millions of music on your phone. Just go there. Once we get there, I mean, it start paying out. So our concern is not just money online now. Let's just get the songs out there. Let people enjoy. We will get there later.
What is your fond memory in Harmonious? This 2010 to 2022, 12 years of being with the choir.
Yeah.
What is that one thing you always remember?
I remember when we went to Benin for the first time, and we are returning on Sunday night. After the concert, we are returning. I got to a place, the driver made a wrong turn. So instead of coming along the coast, we were rather going up north. And we had traveled like 3 hours up north.
You didn't know?
Before the driver realized, no.
Oh, gosh.
So in Ghana, it's like you are moving from Volta region to, let's say, Aplao to Accra. But you go to, let's say, Tema, and you branch towards Akosombo. And you have gone towards Kufodia, getting near to Konongo, before you realize that, no, this is not a turn. So we had to, actually, we saw a police barrier. And that's when they told us that where we are is a dangerous road. And we asked them and said, no, this is not the Accra road. So we had to turn, then come back. And then we got to Accra. And Monday, we were supposed to go to work. We got to Accra somewhere around 10 o'clock. And I got to work. So I went to work straight. I got to work for the first time in my life. I couldn't open my eyes.
You're so tired.
I was so tired, but I had to work. So, I mean, that memory will always be with me. That's when you realize that, look, the body's exhausted, but for the love of Harmonious Chorale, you just went and you did it. And it's nice. It's a nice experience.
And what's that happiest moment with the choir? This thing happened and everybody or yourself, you were so happy that anytime Harmonious is mentioned, you remember that happy moment?
I would think that was before our concerts, the creation in 2011, a week to the concert. So we had this invitation to come and sing as a fundraiser for some children with disabilities. We get there, and the program is about to start, and there is nobody at the venue.
The choristers?
No.
Or guests?
The guest audience. Those who are supposed to come and raise the funds, donate. We are just singing. And it's only the children with disabilities who are there. And our director came and told us that, look, we are here to sing. We shouldn't be discouraged. The way we would have sung the following week at the National Theatre, that's the same way we should sing. And whilst we were singing, you could see the children. You know how children behave. They are careless, they'll be moving about and everything. But this time they were all seated, glued to the music, and you could see the joy in their faces. And we were singing our hearts out. And I think that day we sang the song, we did the song OCU. And the person says, or Shayambo say, Ejuma be and Che aye. When we sang that line, I just had this inner witness in my spirit that the job you applied for, you're gonna get it. The following week, I got the offer letter to start. So that particular event, I wouldn't forget about it. That was when I think Harmonious Chorale, we told ourselves that whatever platform we get, we are going to give of our best. I will always remember that very day, and the pep talk our executive director gave to us. Don't look at the empty seats. Just sing your hearts out. Now, when we overfill the National Theatre multiple times, people don't. They see the glory. They don't know where we've come from. That we've sung to an empty audience before.
What has been the odds of the choir? One mention, one or two? Yeah.
Odds.
Or there's none.
You see, all things work together for good. So if you want to use it as an odd thing, you are dwelling on the negatives. But it's a human institution. It's not a perfect space. Yes, we all have our individual differences, characteristics. Sometimes we fight amongst ourselves. Decisions don't go as we plan at an executive meeting. But then what will happen is that you have to leave everything behind and focus on the final decision. If I wanted us to do A, B, C, and then the whole house says that no, let's do C, D, F, we agree, and we are done. I shouldn't come out and say that, oh, because I wanted A, B, C, I'm not going to support the other. Just focus on what has been agreed. Push it. If it doesn't work, fine. Come back, re-strategize, and go again. But some people will take things personal, and some will live with hurts or some negative emotions. But I mean, it is what it is. The group is bigger than any particular individual, and we just have to fight for it.
But you're saying this thing at the outside, we see a very lively, happy group, as though that is the only place they have. What has been the secret?
The secret is to rally around the vision. The visionary himself knows that the visions will outlive him. So if you as an individual, you don't focus on the vision, the system that it has been created to support the vision will flash you out. It's same with every organization. So what an individual you have to do is that you have to align your goals or your objectives or your vision to the bigger vision. If your vision is different from the main vision, we have what? Division. Two, division. Put together, we have division. So I always say, align your vision to the bigger vision. My vision was those days, to help serve. I aligned my vision. I got the opportunity to serve in different capacities. I now am able to stand in front of camera and talk, all because of Harmonious Chorale, because my vision has been aligned to the bigger vision. But if I want to go 90 degrees off the main vision, the system created will flash you out. So you may think people don't like you. You may think you are the one who knows everything and people are not doing things your way. But the truth is that you are not aligning your vision to the bigger vision. Even if you think your vision is or your idea is better than the vision on anything, first submit to the vision. It is only then can you make a case. But if you don't submit to the vision and you stand against it, the system will flash you out.
How many are you, Harmonious?
On paper, we are 90.
90?
On paper, yeah.
And how do you get your members?
Through auditions.
Auditions.
So we call for auditions. You apply, and once you apply, there are processes you go through. The first auditions was in 2018. I think within 24 hours, about 600 people applied. Yes, but about 400 or something tend to be auditioned. Then later they selected, I think, about 20 or 25. I forgot the number. So we changed the mode. This time around, that was in January. Send us a video, a 1-minute video of you singing, so that we can flash out some people because they don't meet the criteria. Because if we just allow them to audition, their names will be there. It will be difficult to manage. So we got them about 300, and we shortlisted them down to, I think, about 50 or so. They were invited. And then currently about 15 are in the academic training.
You have an academy?
Yes, training. Just for Harmonious Chorale. Once they are
mature,
okay, and they pass that stage, then they will come for auditions. We have about 4 people on standby. In as much as they are good materials we can work with, based on their current location, they can be committed to Harmonious Chorale. Some are outside Accra. It's not realistic. At the auditions, they will say, "Oh, I can come." But the reality is that you live outside Accra.
will you be able to pay your TNT
every time? It is not even advisable. You are still in school, so finish with school. If you are still interested, after that, you come and then we take you through the process again. So let me use this opportunity to say that those still sending us messages on social media. I live in Nigeria, I live in Ivory Coast, I live in... The only way you can join Harmonious Chorale is if you are in Ghana and in Accra. If you are in Ghana and in Accra and you are available, it is practically impossible for you to join Harmonious Chorale virtually. It's impossible. You can't.
So then, we're drawing down the curtains right now, but let me ask you this. How do you see choral music in Ghana?
Choral music has grown. I think a lot of people are now understanding that, look, choral music is not just a tool to sing, it's a tool to shape behavior. If the youth are groomed through choral music, through youth choirs at an early age, it molds them into a certain unique characteristics, because other than that they will just be on the streets doing other stuff. So I think it's a good thing that we have more choirs now. We should have more and more of it, but we should have a national agenda to promote this arts music. It's an economy on its own. If the Ministry of Tourism and Culture will understand this. It's not just about those in the hip life, high life. Fine, they are doing this, but if you want to get the masses from the ground, focus on choral music. One choir has 50 members. If just one choir has 50 members, look at the number of choirs we have, and look at the number of people you can influence with choral music.
I see. Thank you very much for speaking with us.
Thank you so much, Maxwell.
Yuma, it was wonderful time with you here, and we look forward to the 15th anniversary grand concert. And thank you very much, viewers, for also staying with us. We spoke with the PRO of the Harmonious Chorale, Mr. Emmanuel Osai Nyako. He's a pastor now. I'm still trying to adjust. He himself said that call him by his name. Yes. So thank you very much for watching us. Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel, Choral Music TV, and share this video for other people to also see it. My name is Maxwell Ofori. Thanks for your time.
Was to help to uplift choral music in Ghana.